I mean, honestly, we're just not really using like C4 or like Akimbo and stuff along those lines, but like we're using. I mean, LMGs I think is fair game now because they nerfed them a little bit. I don't think people are even really using them though. Mostly you just see people with like an M8 pistol, but we're playing Ban and Protect, yeah, and scrims and eights now. Yeah, I mean, I think that C4 trip mines, Akimbo, because just because of how powerful it is on the pistols. Um, some of the specialists need to go. Like, I definitely think that Vision Pulse should go, and then there's a few other things that aren't or UAV, counter UAV, care package. Just because if you get a care package and get like the best score streak possible, that makes the game completely random. Other than that, I mean, there's not too many other things, but I mean, thermites, and just the basic stuff that we agreed to at the Totinos that Aches posted.
Yeah. Yeah. Nope. No one can hear you. Okay. All right. What about you, Neslo? Are you guys including, the same gentlemen's agreements in your scrims,
Um,
or
yeah, I
what's
mean,
the case there?
I know like they want us not to use the gentleman's agreements. They want everything to be played in the game, but there's just too many things that are in balance that are uncounterable. That if you put it in a pro player's hands, that it's overpowered. So like
Right.
just the really overpowered nonsense, and not just overpowered, just things that don't belong in competitive. The UAV counter UAVs, like Nameless said, we played a GB tournament yesterday, and nothing was banned. Like they wanted to just use the protect and ban system, and our team was left playing with care packages and counter UAVs and vision pulse because there's literally way too many things you would have to ban or think about to even like have
Right.
strategy in it.
Like
So
you leave everything in, then like you can't have strategy in your bands. Like it makes no sense.
there's just too much. Like we banned four things that don't make sense to be in competitive, but there was still rejack and vision pulse. Like there's not enough bans to actually clean the game up. So yeah, we're doing gentlemen's agreements. We're doing like a Kimbo rapid fire for the most part. LMGs usually are gone. Some people don't like using the L card now. Like most teams come to the agreements. Most of the top teams don't want to use any nonsense. And
Right.
maybe his mic's really loud.
Yo, someone's mic is absurd. Yo, what is that, bro?
Yeah.
Is it mine?
Jared.
Yo,
I
what's
got
good
shit
with you,
going on,
Jared.
dude. Hold on, hold on, hold
Yeah.
on. I'm trying to fix my shit right now because my computer's picking up three different mics. I'm wearing like two different headsets right now. I got this thing just rigged like no other. Hold on a sec. Go,
Jesus.
just go on. Hold on, I'll fix it.
But
Okay.
anything like if like let's say like I scrim Nameless's team and they don't agree the Vesper should be on the gentleman's agreement or an LMG, like then that's when you use the protect and ban system for like the things that the teams don't agree on. But other than that, the protect and ban system right now is just being used like to limit the tactical spams and things like that. Or even if teams really don't care, then they're just gonna ban things that are already in the gentleman's agreement and make the protect and ban kind of useless.
Right. And while Jared gets his mic fixed, I mean, we can rewind a little bit back to Totino's. Get both of your guys' thoughts on how the tournament went, how your teams are performing. I mean, Nameless, Bo and Neslo, both your teams finished top four, winning your first round matchups against FaZe and Envy, respectively. But Nameless, you first. What did you think of the event? How's scrims going overall with your team? And how excited or how prepared are you guys going into the LAN qualifiers for the CWL?
The event was really fun. The game was like super smooth on land, and by smooth I mean like I didn't really feel like because sometimes you play Call of Duty on land, and you're like, yo, I should not have died right there. Like, what was that?
Right.
And I didn't get really any of those moments. I don't know. Neslo's probably the same for you. Like, it's just real smooth. Like, no BS moments really. And then I just really like this game. So playing Atlanta was like just super fun. Some of the matches were really intense. It was fun to watch. And as far as preparation goes, still a couple weeks left, so still preparing. But I mean,
Right.
things have been going good so far. I really enjoy playing with my teammates, and I like this game a lot. So
All right, so can you guys hear me?
Good.
yeah, you're good. You're just
Yeah,
loud as hell.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
Uh,
pretty loud.
well, you guys are just gonna have to enjoy
You're good.
enjoy
You're
my
good.
loud
you're,
voice right
you're,
now.
you're good.
Now you're
You're
good.
good
Okay.
now.
All right. So I don't know what was going on there. I had to put the Astros on, unfortunately, and mix up some of my settings real quick. So I'm back now. That's awesome that you guys couldn't hear me for literally the first like 5 minutes of the show when I was talking. But yeah, so Max, picked it up for me. We got going with the band protect system and how the game felt on the LAN. I mean, I think everybody enjoys this game. I haven't really seen any bad like opinions on it at all, like playstyle wise. Like I myself, I have played over 2 days in this game already, gameplay time, and I haven't played that much COD in like 2 years. So I'm like
Yeah.
I'm having a great time playing this game just pub wise because that's one thing that I just did not enjoy playing the past couple CODs was pub games. But this game I've been grinding the shit out of it, so it's really fun to play. Um, as far as like let's go into like the maps. Like what are your guys' opinions on what the competitive map should be and what the game type should be too? Should we go with the 4 game type system? Should we maybe think about maybe just going back down to 3? I mean, what do you think? We'll start with Nameless.
I agree with Vonderhaar in which 4 game types is too much. One for the spectator is one they have to understand every game type. Like you look at like other esports, like they don't really even have game types. Like realistically, like other than Halo, and like I feel like it's just a lot more difficult like to understand as a spectator. Like having 4 different intricate game types. Because I've talked to like friends and family, and they literally have no idea what's going on. Like a lot of times they're watching COD. So I think 3, if like even if we could have 2, that'd be great. But I think 3 is definitely the limit for COD.
Let's go back to S&D only like in COD 4.
That's
Yeah.
something I wouldn't even be mad. I mean, we've talked about this a long time ago in like MW3 playing S&D only.
Yeah.
I think
I think if you had enough good maps, you could do it.
I
But
think
Yeah, I
you
think so.
need you need a respawn in COD. You gotta have it.
Well, let's
Also-
say like real quick. I want to put this out there. Like, why isn't domination being considered as a competitive game type? Is it the spawns? Is it just
Boring.
because we haven't
'Cause
used
it's
it in so long? Or
boring.
it's boring.
I
No one
mean-
wants to
really
watch
though?
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, if you think about it, Ghost is like one of our biggest like viewerships in terms of like Call of Duties, and we played Dom all year. But
Yeah, like Dom is
That-
like a staple of Call of Duty. Like I miss
But-
that game type.
but it's just like really boring for the player and really boring for the casters to like. I don't know. Honestly, I don't have the answer to that question. I think it's just a bad game type. It's not that competitive because you could literally get a 2 cap and just camp. But in terms of it being boring, like I don't know. I don't think you could just flat out say Dom's boring.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of people are saying CTF is even boring right now. Really. So
Yeah.
CTF is like just is so competitive in its own means, and it's like obviously it's in Halo, and I mean comparing to other console FPS esports, there's Halo and there's COD, and
It's just
it's such a good game mode. Like I don't see how you can't have it in there.
it's
Honestly,
like
I like
spawns.
CTF.
Yeah, like CTF isn't bad in this game. People are saying it's really bad. The thing is, like CTF has never worked in a COD where like the set spawns usually on the flag. Like
Right.
AW, they made it so you spawn too far out from your flag.
This
So
game
people-
isn't bad. Spawns aren't bad in this game.
This game, you spawn on your flag a lot, so it slows down the pace. But like the spawn system in CTF, if it got tweaked a little bit, like there's not enough outer spawns in CTF. But then you have the layers of like, all right, specialists, or are we using sentries or kill streaks? So it kind of snowballs. So it's like once you get a
Yeah.
lead, you wanna play strictly for kills once you get a lead. And like
It's
any
like that
objective
team-
gameplay,
It's like that team that gets the first cap just like starts going off in this game. But I mean, then the argument's made like the team that gets the first cap is probably the better team, which is like probably true. Which is probably true. Like team that gets the first cap, they outplayed them. They're probably the better CTF team, but like it makes the rest of the map kind of boring to watch. Like a stronghold, for example, the team that gets the first cap can literally just camp their base. But then again, in my opinion, I think people like aren't really playing it right yet. Like because in Blobs 2, if you really think about the maps back then, you could do the same thing. You can camp your base, but people were hitting smokes like in the base. Like you couldn't camp your base because people would literally just throw a smoke, push you out, and then you're useless with an AR. But like I think when people start playing it more, like it'll become a little more fun. But honestly, I don't know. Like uplink might be better. Like if we had.
Did you see that post earlier today from Shane? The uplink post. It looked like they were playing Quidditch. The freaking
Yeah, whatever the hell that
the
was.
orb was flying around the map for like
Oh,
5
no, I didn't see
seconds.
that.
Yeah, dude. So they
let me-
threw it, and it was literally flying around the map for 5 seconds. It was nuts. I'll have to get you it. Just look at Shane's old tweets. It's hilarious.
I'll check it out.
Real quick, do you guys think there's a game mode that requires less quote unquote gay shit to ban out in terms of pick and ban? Like, because when you think of S&D, you're going to ban out Reject, you're going to ban out, you know, you got to ban out C4, UAV, all that stuff. But do you think there's a single game mode that requires less bans, less, default bans, and you can actually break down into a meta and actually start countering playstyles of the teams?
Right.
Or do you think all three just really need a general ban?
I
They
mean, for example, like reject isn't as useful in a respawn.
Yeah,
Right.
it depends on the game type. Like, there's plenty of bans for every game type, but they do change per game type. Like, a lot of people ban overdrive for uplink
I mean,
and even
honestly,
search.
I wouldn't care what people can use whatever they want in S&D. Honestly, like, I don't like it doesn't really. Besides reject, like everything else is like whatever. Like you use like a trip mine, like all right, I can put on black hat. I see them across the entire map. You have one player with black hat on, trip mines and C4 are irrelevant. Like I don't know. Like in terms of like respawn though, like all that stuff can get lame C4 and stuff. So it just depends on the game type and the certain thing.
The thing about even playing with a lot of that stuff is that even if they have counters to a lot of that stuff, like you said, you have black hats like to see C4s and things like that. You only have 5 classes,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
Right.
but you only need one teammate. So essentially, you
uh,
have you have 20 classes. So like one person just has to have a black hat. Like that's it.
Yeah. I mean, so like yeah, so you're talking about the 5 classes stuff like that. What do you guys think about the 60 seconds to create classes after the ban and protects are made?
need to be longer.
Like how much longer do you
Oh,
think? I
100%.
was thinking like 30 seconds longer, 90 seconds because when you get too long, it kind of it draws it out and it could get rather
I mean, that's when the casters or the analyzers are gonna sit
Wait,
there
wait,
at the table and talk.
yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. Like, we haven't really had good analysis or anything like that in COD yet. I mean, I'm
what should
hoping this is the
happen?
year, but
What should happen is, all right, when they come back from a commercial break, our picks and bans should have been done already, right? And we should have 5 minutes to create our classes while that's going on. And while that's going on, it should show the picks and bans that have happened on screen, and the caster should discuss it while we're like creating our
Yeah,
classes.
5 minutes is good because, dude, like I said, there's so many counters to everything based off what happened in the pick and bans on what a team wants to do to the other team or what they're gonna do to
yeah,
you. That you got to completely change up. Like, are you gonna go nade heavy? You gonna go stun heavy?
yeah,
Like, did someone ban flat jacket so they can use RCXDs? Like,
I
there's
don't
a
think.
lot of
yeah.
thought process.
So what you're
Yeah,
saying is like in between maps, like say they cut to the analysis test. So you have guys talking about the past game. While
yeah,
those guys are talking about the past game, in that cutscene, you guys are building your next ban protects and stuff like that.
exactly.
But
You're
when it
picking and
cut,
banning.
yeah, but when it comes back to you, that's when they show what was banned and protected, and that's when the casters come back into play.
And that's where we're creating our
100%.
class. Because if you think about it in the first place, all right, we're picking and banning, we're going back and forth on stream. That's going to give the casters what 10 seconds each, like of each pick and ban to talk about it. Like first of all, if it's picks and bans, like if it's as strategic as it's supposed to be, like 5 minutes is like they can go on for 5 minutes talking about it.
Oh
That
yeah.
shouldn't be that difficult, for each team. And like I don't know, I think that would just help us a lot because
I mean, I don't know, man. Like 5 minutes is a long time, honestly, when you're up there and you've been talking
I
all day.
mean, yeah,
I mean,
yeah, no, definitely that's definitely difficult, but I
I would
mean, they
say,
st-
I would say like 2 to 3 minutes, like time for you guys to make your classes while they talk about what was banned and protected would be a
yeah,
solid
yeah,
amount
yeah.
of time. Like 5 minutes would be on the long side, but like 2 to 3, that'd be the sweet spot right there to where they could have
Three minutes would be perfect because 90 seconds I can make like 3, 4 classes.
yeah,
Yeah, you run out of time. Like at the invitational, we ran out of time like twice making classes.
Like
yeah. I
three
saw that
minutes would
happen
give
a
me enough
lot.
time to make all my classes, talk to my teammate, and then be like, "Yo, you need to make this class too."
Yeah. Yeah, because yeah, I mean the 60 seconds definitely does. Like you're not really focusing on what your teammates are making. You're really just focused on what class you're making, and then you might have 4 teammates with the same class, and you get fucked. So
That and they need to get rid of the whole race to the first ban thing and do it by seeding. But the thing is, we
yeah,
don't know how to determine seeding in this game yet. There's no seeding tournament or anything yet.
Right.
So
I mean that's what you're gonna have to wait till after the first qualifier event, I guess.
yeah,
How is this qualifier being seated? The Totinos thing?
Yeah,
I don't even know.
no. I mean,
Yo,
I was gonna ask you guys if you knew what was going on.
We don't know the game types. We don't know how
bro,
it's being seeded. We don't know
bro,
who's running it.
yo, what maps are we playing, bro?
We don't even
No
know.
one knows. Actually, I wanted to talk about the maps too because I mean, so let's talk about the map rotation. That I'm just gonna go with Axe's because Parasite's list for hardpoint maps was like all the maps in the game, so I'm not gonna rattle off that many maps. But Aches had hardpoint as Breach, Combine, Fringe, Stronghold, and Evac.
Yeah,
That's
I'm at,
a good rotation.
yeah, I fucks with that.
Okay, now explain this to me. Like, I semi get what he was saying here, but I think he made like a double negative. So I get how Combine, like the third and fourth hill, he thinks that they need to switch the third, fourth hill rotations and flip them.
Yeah. So like what happens is hardpoint. There's two different types of hardpoint
Yeah,
maps.
I agree with that.
Yeah, the hill like there's the hardpoint maps where the hills go in like a complete circle, which means it's a chain reaction off like the previous hill.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you see teams milking like 120 seconds, kind of like Slums was in Blobs 2. Or there's hardpoints like Raid where every hill is completely opposite from each other.
Yeah.
And a map like Combine that's so small, if the hills go in like a circle rotation, like you see teams get absolutely blown out on Combine because if they lose like the second hill, they're probably gonna end up spawning out losing the third hill too. So
Yeah.
instead of having it go in like a circle, it would go across. And most of the hardpoint maps we do play, they don't really go in a circle. They usually like the new hills usually cross.
So like that rotation would be so the first hill would be in the center, the second hill would still be lab, the third hill would be on the other side
Yeah,
in the
in
other
the
house,
building,
and then
yeah.
the fourth one would still be in the water like area.
It'll be in like the little dirt path. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that would make a lot of sense. Like I think a lot of the maps, to be honest, if you changed up the hill rotation, would make a lot of sense.
Well, the way it works is like, all right, in hardpoint, there's like a middle hill, and which is neutral, like equal spawns, and then like if you're pushing a hill, for example, like if they have spawns and you're pushing a hill and you keep pushing ahead on, you keep dying. All right, you should spawn like right near the next hill. Like that's just
Yep.
how Call of Duty should work. You
Yeah.
should spawn near the next hill.
That's how it worked in Black Ops 2.
Yeah, but you're still getting that like back spawn, so it's like a
Yeah.
neutral spawn to the river. So the next hill, it should be in that building because you're spawning next to it, and then the team that just held a 60 is gonna have to outplay the team, break their spawn, and
Yeah.
get that spawn. And then and if you do that, then that's successful. Like you're successfully playing hardpoint correctly. Like you're
Yeah.
pushing out spawns, you're rotating,
You're
like
setting
you're
up.
guaranteeing them.
I
Exactly.
feel like the hardpoint spawns are really messed up though, in my opinion. Because I mean, even playing pubs and stuff like that, like you push it out and you still get the bad spawns
They're not
somehow.
they're not that bad. Saw a lot of people, even pros. So I'm not blaming you. I've been saying that, but like I personally sat in eights and recorded every single map, every mini map in a codcaster, and like looked at every spawn.
Mhm.
And I mean, other than like a few hills on like for example on Breach, there's like a weird spawn, and then on Fringe, there's like a weird spawn on Grandma's Hill and Silo. Neslo, you know what I'm talking about? How like
Yeah.
yeah, you keep spawning next to each other. There's like a couple hills throughout the game that have like an issue, but other than that, the spawns are actually pretty solid.
Yeah, like there's just a couple hills in the game where you can kill like a team thinking you're breaking spawns and they're just gonna spawn back
Yeah,
there again.
the anchors are
There's
just
not that many hills.
the anchors are a little, or the anchor spawns is like they need to make it a bit easier to break, in my opinion. Like on
Yeah.
Hunted, for example, on the second hill, you have to kill them like 4 times to break.
Yep.
You can literally watch people spawn.
The
They're
only thing
not
that would
they're not
fix
as
that is a
sensitive.
respawn delay, but I don't think we're gonna put a respawn delay in hardpoint. So
Now the spawns are just not as sensitive as they should be.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So I mean, general consensus on the hardpoint maps for CTF. He has Stronghold, Fringe, and then he has Breach, Evac, Combine all paired together, and he says pick one or two. So essentially, you have like 3 to 4 maps for CTF.
Those are all bad CTF maps.
Combine is trash.
Yeah,
What?
Combine is trash for almost every game type.
Breach? Who said Breach? I'm roasting them.
That was Aches, dude.
Yo, the best maps for CTF, at least that I've played, have been Fringe was like pretty solid.
Stronghold is good.
Stronghold ain't bad either. I actually gotta go look at the maps. I don't even remember.
Evac, I think Evac's probably good too. I don't
Yeah,
think we're gonna play
Evac's
CTF,
the
dude.
one with the middle shack. I don't really like Evac map too much, but
Evac uplink is like uplink's best game type.
Evac's just like my favorite map.
Yeah, I like Evac a lot.
and then for uplink he has Evac, Fringe, Stronghold, Breach.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I haven't played Breach uplink or Breach CTF, so I have no opinion on them to be honest. I've never seen anyone even play them.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody play those. Or Breach, I've seen them play that thing's trash, but I don't know about Uplink. I haven't really played that much Uplink. I just played Evac and it was nice.
All right, now for S&D. Infection, Fringe, Redwood, Hunted, and then his last 3 combine was Aquarium, Breach, Evac, pick 1 or 2. I just want to start this off with, I think Aquarium should not be a map in any competitive
Yeah, it
format,
should not.
but that's my
Neither should
opinion.
Redwood. I fucking hate Redwood.
Well, I
Not
just
the
think
part-
just to look at like kind of the trend that's going on here. It's pretty much any map where you can go underwater on it is not competitive. And then in S&D he has Redwood and Aquarium, which are two maps where you can
Yeah,
go
yeah,
underwater.
water.
Hunted, you can go underwater.
Redwood is an amazing search map. Anybody who says otherwise does not know how to play search and
search map
destroy.
is okay, fine, but it's just other than that, that map I hate that
No,
map.
Redwood,
That map-
Redwood
I
is
mean,
good.
yeah,
It's
let's
not
throw
good.
like opinions away though. Like Redwood is a great search map. You can get aggressive on that map. You can slow it down. It requires like to push out a bomb site on that. You need mad teamwork. Like you can do so many things like without giving away like strategy on stream. Like you can do so much cool stuff on the map. Like seriously. Like
This
no, no,
dude, this
Red-
dude's
We
busting
said
out
it.
the
We said it
playbook,
yesterday.
man.
In the
He's
tournament
busting out
yesterday,
the
we said that we're
playbook.
like, yeah, Redwood is really good because like any
I
map
think that's
that
the
map
best
opens
S&D
up.
map.
Yeah, it's one of the
Honestly,
best
like
systems.
me, I like Redwood as a hardpoint map personally. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just
not
my
bad for
opinion.
it's not bad for Hardpoint either. I don't think it's bad for Hardpoint. I think Redwood's an amazing map. I think Redwood Infection are the two best like search and destroy maps, and then there's a couple other decent ones. Like Fringe is pretty good. It's just hard on offense.
Infection's like the snowy World War II type map, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's an
that's a really
Yeah,
that's a
that
really
map's
good
good.
search map because it's
That
really
map
open.
is really good for search.
I'm just wondering
Yeah.
why Aquarium's on there. That's my only thing. I don't know. I'm just
The
not a
bomb-
fan of that
it's not
map
that
at
it's
all.
not that bad for search. Not that bad for
Really?
search.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't played it on Search, so I just played it on like
It's
Hardpoint and Dom and stuff like that
Oh,
with freaking
trash for
butt
respawn.
cheeks. Yeah. But yeah, so that's what he has. So I mean, I don't know. Like Parasite said on the Reddit post that that was like an email format. So I don't know if he was sending this to someone who's making the rule sets. I don't know. You guys would know better than me on that one. If they were asking you guys for your opinions on what map should be and
Was Combine search on that list?
on Parasites.
Yeah,
Well, that better not be a map.
yeah, that map is
That
trash.
map was really bad to watch.
Any
Com-
map, in my
Search and
opinion,
Destroy. No, Search and Destroy. He has Infection, Fringe, Breach, Redwood, Stronghold, Evac, Metro, Aquarium, Hunted.
I've never
Yeah,
played
Metro's not
Evac
that bad.
S&D.
Any map where you can go from a bomb site to the other one like in 2 seconds can't be a search map.
The weird thing about Aquarium is that if you're facing like the right side of the map, one half of the map you can like cut underground and go into the mid area. The other half is completely sealed off. It's like there's no point going
That's the
down that
biggest
area.
problem with the map.
All right,
That
but
map they didn't have it.
that map's not bad though. Like, all right, let's break it down the map. So defense, all right, you should get a sort of a little advantage at least at one bomb site on defense. You should have like a clear advantage at one bomb
Which is
site, which they do. No, no, A,
or
wait,
whatever the
yeah,
one that's on
D.
the right.
The one in the little room, like you have an advantage on that. All right. The only way they're getting that is if they like push the water and win like a questionable gunfight on you
Yep.
that your teammate shouldn't lose if he's a pro. The other bomb site, yeah, you have to get control of it, like have a little bit of like aggression to your play, so you can't just camp back in your spawn. But the other team, it's not like they just have a free bomb. They have to push it out on the right side, use their equipment, smokes, EMP, stuns, nades, like get
Trophies.
control of the bomb. Yeah. And then like you can push through mid. Like there's multiple lanes where you can push out like the offensive attack, like to stop them from getting that bomb. Like I think that map isn't bad for search. Like if you talk to all the search like community, like all the S&D stars, that's like their favorite map too.
The thing
Really?
about search
Yeah,
that's just
all the search kids love it.
the thing about search that completely just throws a lot of people and it throws me off in this game that changes the complete dynamic of what search is the fact that every gun moves at the same speed.
Oh,
So like a
fact.
lot of
Oh,
these
yeah.
a lot of these players like, all right, I'm gonna pull out a sub and I'm gonna hit this route. Like that really doesn't exist as much as it used to anymore. Like
Well,
I
I mean,
noticed that
not yet. They might change
the first day the game came out, I was like, all right, I hit a bomb site in Aquarium. I hit that bomb site with a sub or with an AR, and the guy like me and the guy got there at the same time. And then I pulled out a sub. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna beat him there this round. And he was there again with an AR, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? So like sub routes and rushes in this game, like you see a lot of slower play in search in this game. It'll probably change. The game's brand new,
Yeah.
but
Well,
there's
I
a
mean
lot
that.
of
Yeah,
there's a lot of heavy ARs in search.
that was my biggest complaint just playing pubs was like even with LMGs you still ran just as fast as a person with an SMG.
That's
So
my
it was
biggest
like
complaint
it
about
was
this game.
ridiculous. I was like, are you serious?
I
This
made a
is real?
poll. I made a poll that got like 4,000 votes, and I put which do you think your AR player should run considerably slower, like when he has an AR, and it got 52% no. So
That's
I don't.
crazy.
I'm mind blown that people look. I posted it in the chat.
That is the biggest broken feature to this game.
I don't.
Wow.
I just can't believe like the community didn't agree, like or doesn't think that they should move slower.
Yeah, I don't
Well, I mean,
understand.
well, remember, like I mean, in past CODs, you'd pull out your pistol or just your fist or whatever to run a little bit faster back then. But that whole aspect of the game is taken out.
Yeah, I took that out.
So I don't know. Maybe that's good. Maybe that's here for good. Maybe it'll change a little bit in a patch. I just can't see. The one thing that bothers me the most is the LMG thing. You should not be able to run as fast with an LMG as you can with a pistol or an SMG. That just
It
makes
doesn't
zero
make
sense
sense.
to me.
It doesn't make sense at all. Like I want to ask them like, what's the purpose of that? Everyone says it's because of the wall running, and you wouldn't be able to run off half the walls with like a slower speed. I don't know if that's true. Like you wouldn't have enough thrust, but yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It's almost like they completely forgot to put it in the game.
They need to do something else, like make the ARs aiming like a little slower or something.
Like you gotta understand if everything can run at the same speed, why like if an AR is really dominant, or if they nerf a sub too much, like what's changing hardpoint from being like a 3 AR 4 AR game? Like a
Yeah.
lot of
It's
these
not. Hardpoint is a 3 AR, 4 AR anyway.
yeah, it is. Like it's
Now, as
ridiculous.
far as the ARs go, do you guys like? I just noticed it myself that the stock doesn't really increase movement that much. Is that just me, or is that?
It doesn't, but it's still pretty useful.
Yeah, I mean, it's useful for accuracy, like
I think it's
standpoint,
balanced. I
but
think you can't go stock. I think ARs are already too good. Not too good, but they're good enough.
yeah, but like the stock, like the reason I used stock back in the day was so I could increase my movement. Like I was using an SMG, peek and corner stuff like that. Now it just totally takes that out of the equation. You don't move nearly as smoothly as you do with an SMG
Yeah,
anymore.
thank God, because if you could do that, there'd be no reason to use a sub.
Well, right now, but that's how
at
it
a sub
was.
speed, and you could strafe at a sub speed. Like
Yeah,
there'd
we
just
were we were
Yo.
having the same discussion in Black Ops 2 though. So I'm just saying there were still MSMCs and MP sevens and stuff like that used every now
Yeah,
and
but
again.
the thing about Blops 2 was I could run in a building and you couldn't see me, but I could see you because of cameras, so it made subs
True.
good. In this
True.
game, I sprint in a building, I get one bursted instantaneously, see
Yeah.
my fingertips.
Yeah, I know, but you got the ban protect system, man. Ban that shit.
All right, then use the XR, same thing. Like, there's no way on that. And if I don't ban that stuff, then this fool's using thermites.
Exactly, dude. It
that's-
just adds. It adds to the creativity for the
Yeah,
viewers.
yeah. We'll call it creativity.
I'm
only
trying to
thing
put
that-
a healthy spin on this. Okay, let's make it.
like
make
the
it friendly.
subs, like the protect and ban phase is really predictable when it comes to guns because it's like, all right, you're gonna ban the Vesper, and then you have a variety of subs from here on out. Like people can ban the Pharaoh or the VMP, but there's like liable subs. If you ban an M8, we're just gonna protect the XR2. Like the game
Yeah.
doesn't change at all. It's the same exact thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So like that's what people say. Well, you have the ban system. Like you also have the protect system, homie. Like you can still protect shit as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really just curious as to what the actual rules are going to be and when they're actually going to freaking announce them because
Oh, we're playing the game out of the box.
the qualifier event is 2 weeks from now. It's not next weekend or this coming
Less
up
than 2
weekend.
weeks, dude.
It's
Yeah,
yeah.
they'll probably play it for the box. I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised.
I'll be
I don't know.
mind blown.
I don't
Pretty sure
know.
everyone there would agree to stuff though. Like all the teams, we know all the
Yeah.
players that are coming.
They should.
I don't know. I just think that I had this kind of idea earlier. I was like, now that Activision's actually starting to get more involved with the esports scene as far as making their world league and their own league for the actual, community. I would say from titles here on out, since we do have like ex players and stuff like that affiliated with Activision companies now, I think that rule set should almost already be ironclad, like the first, like once the game's released, honestly. Because if you guys have these consultants working for you over the years while you're making this game and you have esports in mind, there should be a rule set already pretty much done by the
They
time the
have
game is released.
They have a rule set. It's just we don't agree with it.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there needs to be more discussion with the community going here on out so that we don't have these lags of time like we've always had in the past, and we have these events literally a week after the game's out, and we have to do players agreements
Yeah.
at the event.
Honestly,
Yeah, we say it all the time. Like the first month of COD, it's like a waste almost.
Yeah,
Like,
it
other than
always
winning the
is.
game,
No, it always
it's
is.
always a waste of time.
normally
It's the same cycle every
it's
year.
normally the first 3 months actually. Like it takes around like over the past probably 5 titles, it's taken at least 3 months to finally
Let-
get a rule set that everyone.
honestly,
is
I
comfortable
don't understand the issue with banning certain things. Like, what is the issue? Like, is
Wait.
the one argument people say is like, all
They
right,
want it out
yeah,
of the
this
box.
guy in pubs isn't gonna want to play. Dude, I have like tons of friends who play this game, like, and I
They
literally
all
talk
bitch
to them.
about C4.
They'll be like, so what do you use in your class? And then I'm like, oh, this, whatever. Like, obviously, they're going to ask me because I'm a pro, whatever. And then they're like, yeah, you guys don't use all that, like, lame stuff, right? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I don't know, like, C4s, like, oh, like, this guy shooting me in the back with, like, a grenade. Like, I'm like, yeah, we agree to not use it. And he's like, it's allowed? I'm like, yeah, like of course everybody's gonna want that stuff gone, unless you're like
Dude,
some 5-year-old kid. Like,
yeah, people gotta understand, dude, that the stuff that we don't want in the game, a lot of pub players don't want in the game, man. Like this is like the biggest misconception about COD is like, oh, we need to play it out of the box. We need to play it out of the box. Half the shit they put in the game out of the box, like people don't enjoy or it's
I know.
overpowered, it's
But
imbalanced.
The
honestly,
stuff-
let's be real. Who are the people that honestly like think that's the way it should be played though? It's really the people that are just trying to say shit to say shit.
exactly. That was my point right there. That's
There's
what I was
no
trying to
proven
say.
fact that if you play the game more out of the box, that we're gonna get better viewership.
That's just people that
better
are just
comments.
trying to just like be
They're
combative.
reaching.
Yeah.
They're literally reaching at something that doesn't
Do-
exist.
do
Like,
you
oh,
guys-
Counter Strike, it's played out of the box. All right, Counter Strike doesn't have fucking thermites and C4 and all this shit.
Yeah,
I
like,
know
that's the
It's,
thing.
it's a
about it.
dumbed down game.
There was one thing that me and Benson were talking about, like either ban all the stuff like globally, or but my thing is, would you guys rather just do gentlemen's agreements, or would you rather just have like
No.
2 extra bans
Can we
per
say
player?
players agreements? Because not all the players are gentlemen. Let's just be real.
All right, well, I consider Nameless and Nesla to be some gentlemen, so
Yeah, let's be real. We got someone cheated at the
I'm a
Totino's
gentleman and a
Invitational.
scholar.
gentleman and a scholar.
Yo,
See?
wait, yo, what happened? How'd they cheat? Yo?
Slacked accidentally had on rapid fire in CTF after he was like triple negative.
Hold up.
Accidentally?
Oh,
Yeah,
someone take
Wait,
away
wait,
the
y'all,
championship.
you guys are agreeing to no rapid?
yeah. Well, at that event we were. Yeah,
If I
right
played
now.
Yo, you ban the VMP and the Vesper, homie. I'm pulling out a Pharaoh Rapid. No remorse.
That's fine. Like rapid, dude. The only reason why rapid fire needs to be banned isn't because of the subs, it's because of the fucking ARs. Like you put rapid fire on an MA, it's already got like.
With a
Honestly,
Shiva.
dude, you guys can't even get mad at him because he literally abided by the rules. Let's be real.
You can't though, because everyone there's a gentleman's agreement. Everyone used it, and you went against
Players,
it. Like
players
What do
agreement.
you mean? Multiple teams were using
Shit,
rapid.
it's not gonna happen, Jared. It's gentlemen.
No, it's gonna happen.
I'm saying, like we before the match, everyone agreed. Like there was a DM talking about rapid fire, and they said they weren't using it. So like that, I wasn't even that upset with it. My team was really upset about it. Like, I didn't really care.
You can be like personally like mad at Slack, but like you should be more mad at yourself for like not having a class. Like even when I gentlemen's agree, bro, I got a class with Akimbos.
Just in case you got your fail safe.
Straight up.
Fail safe.
That's fucking like the thing about the whole gentleman, like the players agreement thing is like yesterday, like we had a players agreement throughout an entire tournament, and then we played the finals, and these guys didn't want to agree on that shit. So like, what the fuck's the point of having it at all?
That's why you got to be prepared for the scumbags.
You gotta
So,
have
like,
the fail safe.
That's why you need this shit actually banned and not agreeing not to use.
Would you guys rather have like multiple bans per player?
That would be yes. Like
No,
if you
that'd be
give us
tragic.
2 or 3, then we could actually just use the protect and ban system, and I think
No,
the game.
because
would
then
be,
you get to a point where somebody's like, yo, we should agree to like just not play with this in the first place. And it's like, all right. And then you sit down and then they ban every single submachine gun in
So
the game.
let's just get it like said right now that agreements are not the way to move forward. Like
Yeah, 100%
agreements
agree.
at events are not the way to move forward.
No.
There needs to be a rule set. Let's just be real. We're humans
Yep.
here. Someone's
Yep.
gonna scumbag someone 9
I
out of 10
agree.
times. So
I agree.
the whole player agreement thing is not gonna work for the future of this league. We're gonna need.
Oh, dude, there's players in the pro on talking about how they're using danger close at champs and shit. Like people didn't know about. Like what?
This is what I'm saying. Yo, yeah, 100% people are using that. Yo, I'm about to go up to people and be like, yo, you want to play with all these pistols? All right. I'm using thermites. Like, that's how I'm going. Like, that's the
There's
way.
gonna
Like,
be that one person, dude.
You're all scumbags.
100%. If we're not, if like,
But yeah, I'm just interested to see because the rules and everything have to be coming out sometime this week over Thanksgiving break and everything like that. So, I mean, I'm expecting they come out in the next few days actually to give
What
players
kind
at
of
least a
World League
week.
qualifier is this if we have a week to practice the actual rules? So
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing I'm saying here. I'm like the rules should have been out. I mean 2 weeks ago, or they should have pushed the qualifier match back and just pushed everything back. Since I mean,
And like you said, like we don't have a consultant. Like we don't have someone that we're sitting here emailing every day talking about the rule set. I don't even know
see,
who's
and that's
in charge of
see
the
that's
set, not the
see
problem.
that's
Bigger
surpri-
problem.
that see that's surprising to me though, because I figured like there would be something there by now. Because I mean,
mean-
I've been out of this scene for like a year and a half, so I'm just now getting back into it myself. So I'm like out of the loop on a lot of things, and I figured something would, especially with the COD World League, that there would be someone talking to some player at least, like just one. Like I don't care who it is, but at least they're talking to someone playing.
The thing is, it's like the thing about CS:GO or anything else when it comes to balancing and bans. If you ever want to do anything, like the esport of COD is so new to the point where they don't have a lot. We don't have a lot of veteran retired pro players. Like we don't have a lot of people that can be consultants for Activision and talk about this stuff. Like I said, the fact that I don't know who's in charge of this is already a problem.
Yo, right? Like, yo, who's picking the maps, man?
Like there came a point where it felt like Aches was literally choosing the rules in Ghost,
Yeah,
which
dude,
made a lot of sense. Like he was making good decisions on what to ban. Don't get me wrong, but it's like he literally led a movement. Like why the fuck?
I honestly think Sloth should have made the rules in Ghost.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, Killa and Aces went at it like every day about the rules. Like we need to
tried to
have
ban Sloths.
like yeah, basically he said fuck them LRGs, fuck smokes, like all that stuff, shotguns.
I don't know.
But
It's
it's
I
concerning
mean,
that we don't have anyone that's like responsible for that we know of. Like I don't know who's involved. I don't know if it's a player, like an ex-player.
I don't
Well,
know. I mean,
I mean, we'll. There's a topic we'll talk about a little later or whenever you want to get into it, Jared. But there seems to be a lot of confusion between.
we can get into it now. I mean, we're kind of
well,
segueing that way, anyways.
Yeah, but it seems like a lot of confusion between if Activision is running it, if ESL is running it. What there's a little bit of obscurity between what's going on. But yeah, if you want to like talk about the next segment.
I mean, yeah, go for it. I mean, we'll just talk
Okay.
about. I mean, so once the teams were being picked, everyone. I mean, you saw. I mean, obviously someone's gonna bitch about their team not getting picked and stuff like that. So I actually didn't know this. Max brought it up to me literally 10 minutes before the show. Max, if you just want to go ahead and get into it yourself, we can go from there.
Yeah, so there was some drama tweeted out by someone on Twitter called Darkskin. Calling out,
That's my homie.
you know, okay. I hadn't heard of him. About he tweeted at ESL and tagging Kinetic Empire, a new Call of Duty organization, Stunner Gaming, and basically we're calling them out for sliding them on invites to the COD World League qualifier. And there were some tweets from Ron, who's formerly of MLG as a technical director and now as an associate producer at ESL, and tweets from Colchan as well, DMs about just how the qualifiers, like how the invitation to the qualifier were handed out. And there was a whole bunch of controversy over this because it was saying that the more people you list on your roster, the better your chances are of it, and that Ron was pretty much picking out the people who he was going to invite, and then they'd get approval by Activision, but he was in charge of it, and then he was even listed as a coach on Colchan's team.
Who was?
Which Ron is apparently.
Oh, okay.
I believe that's Colchan based on his Twitter image. Let me double check real quick. But
I think they went
yeah,
wrong with putting players on a list and inviting players instead of inviting teams or organizations.
I mean, let's be
weird.
honest, dude. It's a qualifier, like invitational qualifier. Like, they obviously only wanted 16 teams. They could probably only do it with 16 teams.
Well, no.
and,
So
like,
hold on. It's an invitational qualifier with 16 teams, which the top 8 get into the league. But there's 12 teams from the NA. So there's also 4 teams from an online
it's
qualifier.
online. Exactly.
Yeah. So when is the online qualifier? And I'm assuming the online qualifier is open to
After.
everybody. So
It's open. It'd be people who don't qualify at the LAN, and then anybody who didn't get their invite.
Yeah. So I mean, it's essentially the same setup as like MLG with the pool plays type thing, because you have your teams in the pool play that make it, and then you have teams from open bracket that can come out and make it that way. So it's kind of like the same concept type thing going on.
Honestly, don't see an issue with any of this.
I don't see an issue with it just because, I mean, when you look at the list of teams that have been invited, it's like everyone you see on that list has been in the top of COD since anyone can remember. Like, I mean, if you didn't think, like, if you look at that list, there might be a couple names on there I'm kind of questioning myself, but for the majority of it, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense to me. Like, why would those players not be invited for the first season of the COD World League? Like, it just makes sense.
I mean, there's only one team that didn't get invited that I felt like should have been invited, and that's just Twisn'em. That's it.
Yeah.
But
that's Kinetic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what we're saying. They didn't get an invite.
But I don't even know who
then
else.
again, who got invited?
And then another
questions.
thing about that is though is like, yo, none of them even played AW. Like,
Well, that's the thing, but it's the saying that Ron is actually listed on Colchan's roster as a coach.
If they
Okay.
wanted to do it like
Who's on Colchan's team? Isn't
It's
Colchan, Tipsy, Burns, and
and
who?
Moch. Instead of they drop Moch for Burns, so it's
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
Burns, Tipsy. Well, I got the whole list here. Give me a second.
you have it. Yeah, Burns
Killer,
tips.
right?
Or maybe I
No.
don't. I X'd
Who's
out
on
of it.
Embos' team?
What kills on Embo's team? Oh,
Yeah. Because this fourth is gonna change like a lot. Because Burns 100% deserves to be at this event, no matter. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. You got fifth of champs.
If too many
100%.
people or too many
Alright,
players or
so-
teams think they should be on the list, then they should have done like the top 8 got invited to the qualifier, and then they should have done an online qualifier for the other teams.
The way I look
that's
at
all-
it,
So yeah, it's Tipsy, Burns off, Anticity, Colchan.
Okay, yeah. Anticity and Burns were 2 of 4 people on a team that got 5th place at champs in AW. They deserve to be on the list no matter what 2 they pick up.
And Moch
And
got.
not-
Moch is on the team. Sorry.
All right, so let's look at this. All right, so that Kinetic team is Sin, Twiz. Who's the other 2?
Honestly,
You guys
don't know. I have no idea who's on that team.
I'll tell you, it's Sin.
Lawless,
Twiz,
Sin, Twiz, Lawless, and then the last one
Royalty?
is Royalty. Okay, so Royalty didn't even go to AW champs. At least I don't think he did.
I wasn't
He
old
wasn't.
enough.
Was he not old enough? He
I
wasn't
don't
old
know.
enough.
All right, so Royalty, he didn't get top 8. Let's just say that. All right. The other 2, Sin and Twiz went. They got top 16. And then who's the other one? Lawless. I think he was on their team. They all got top 16 together. Now Burns and whoever or Anticity got top 5 at AW World Champs. Like they picked up 2. That team picked up 1, but they got 5th. They got 16th. There's no issue there, in my opinion.
Yeah. So.
Well, no.
What about threes up?
Did they
Who's
get
on that
invited?
team?
Huh?
They got invited, or
Yeah, it's Khalifa, Miyagi, Baker, and Strife.
see, like, how did they get invited over Twiz?
How did they get invited
That's the
over?
question.
I don't
What's
know.
there had to be some sort of criteria, I guess, there, but that's the only. I mean, that team.
That,
Well,
I
that's
mean,
what they're saying.
that's the main team that's like confusing me is that threes up team.
That's what the whole the drama is that Ron was basically picking the teams with that approval
Okay.
from Activision.
Conflict
and
of
that-
interest can happen.
Okay,
in
but
esports.
Yeah,
people
it's a
gotta
conflict of
stop
interest,
saying
that's
that.
what we're
People gotta stop saying that. Like, Ron picked the teams. Like, all right, yeah, somebody has to like submit a list of teams, and then they have to approve it. So like, it's not his fault. Like,
No, but they're saying he's the coach
right.
of one of the teams that
He's
got
the coach
picked.
of one
That's
of the
like
teams.
controversial. Like shouldn't have been picked over another team.
okay,
So it's
but
like, all right,
like
the fact that
back
he's
to the
picking the
point.
fucking list. So
Okay, but back to the point of what I said. He's the coach of a team that was gonna get picked regardless. Like, they got 2 people that got 5th at the World Championships. Like, they should be there. Like, there's no issue at all there.
Yeah,
We already
that's fine.
established there's
I'm just saying, like from here on, Ron, like I mean, the only thing I don't like about the situation that he is like
That
in a
he is a
leadership position within the league to make decisions, and he is the coach of a team in the qualifier. So if that qualifying team makes it into the first season of the league, he has, he's a producer, he has, executive decisions, he has approval from Activision to make these types of decisions, and he's the coach of a team in the league moving forward. That's just that's conflict of interest down the line that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's
definitely
my
true.
only thing. Like, yeah, that's like I don't even care about the team's players really that much anymore. Like, yeah, it was great for a day of Twitter drama, woohoo. But
Hey.
either
But
way, like
anymore,
Ant said,
I
that
just
team
think he
deserves to
shouldn't
be
be
there,
coached.
so it doesn't matter.
but
like,
anyways,
what if
are
they had a
coaches
team?
even allowed at events?
Yeah, that's what I'm
now?
saying, yo.
Like,
People
that-
say this
we don't
guy's
even-
their
we don't
coach. Like,
even
all right,
know.
yeah, he's their coach, but like, what's this fool doing, man? Like, he's not coaching them, dude.
But
He's just
honestly,
their homie.
no.
They play pubs together, and he's their homie. Like,
Yeah, but hold on. Let me read this
same thing
tweet
can be
again
said
because
about
look,
casters and certain players.
Because look, it says Ron from ESL is literally coaching us into the league. So it's not that he's their coach per se. It's that he was telling them how to get into the league.
oh, all right, then there.
So
you go.
that's how I'm reading it. So Max, you might be reading it differently, but that's at least how
I
I'm
thought I
reading
read
it.
something somewhere that he was actually listed on. As a
Okay,
coach.
yeah, that might be, but yeah, this
Or
one
that he was
said-
even just added to the team's roster.
yeah. Okay, well, these DMs right here just say
There's
that
no such thing as a coach.
is coaching us into the league. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I actually want to talk about that a little bit too. I'm glad we brought it up because
sure.
I think this Call of Duty all over all the other CODs, this is the COD that a coach would be very beneficial for teams. Would you guys be willing to actually have a coach stand behind you for this game?
I would if
Yeah,
it was
the
the
only
right
thing
person,
is,
but there's no.
yeah, there's not. We don't like that's something that'd be a brand new thing when it comes to COD because like X is a caster now, and like there is no coaches. Like
I would literally
It's
need
something
somebody
that'd be
that
open for anyone.
I'm just saying. I was a coach back in the day, guys. I was a
Yeah, I
coach.
remember.
All right, you stood
I'd be
behind.
down
You stood behind
for
Ego.
coaches to be back.
You got what, top 12 at 2 Black Ops 1 events? Congratulations, Jared.
Dude, I took the team from top 24 to top 12. Okay, I had a team
Hey,
of
progress.
nobodies.
I've had
What was
one
that- what was
coach,
that-
and at
what
that
was that
event I
team?
won it. So
So the team was Lyrics, Bogey, Fatalize,
I remember that squad.
Dito, and Vibes.
And
I
who?
mean, I think
Remember
coaches.
Vibes? Yeah, no one
Vibes.
remembers Vibes. Vibes just left
From
after
DH
Black
or
Ops
whatever,
1,
right?
Vibes, like
Yeah,
DH vibes.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
DH
that
vibes,
little
dude.
racist guy, dude.
you know
He was
what? I
racist.
don't say anything about
I thought
Vibes
was hella
anymore.
racist, yeah.
That's funny. But I think coaches are really good. I think you
But
could use
no,
them.
I mean
like,
this is the game where coaches would be viable because you having that extra guy there with extra knowledge that his job is basically just to look at other teams and study them to see what they're potentially going to ban, protect, or what the classes will look like. Like that's what a coach is there for.
as long as the
Only
rules are
person
the
I
same for every
trust-
tournament.
The only person I would trust would be Mud Dog. That's it. And
Like
that's
the
the only one.
yeah, as long as like the rules are the same for all these tournaments, I'm fine. Because like I remember like one of the reasons I'm not discrediting European teams, but one of the reasons I think like Epsilon or European teams do really well at Gfinities, I'm pretty sure they have coaches in the booth at the Gfinities.
Do they?
Like I'm pretty sure I remember watching people, having a
Oh,
headset on
dude,
or having a coach
they
behind.
have
Dude.
Dinge. That's it, dude.
Yeah. Well,
But
so they have
Dinge,
Dinge.
Dinge doesn't do anything, bro.
You don't know that though.
Bro, my man's Dinge is just gassing them up, dude. They do better there because they live there and it's just comfortable.
But yeah, honestly,
What-
like a coach doesn't like. I mean, you just have to be able to trust the guy. Really, you don't really have to like. He doesn't really have to be. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Really, I don't know how to explain it.
He doesn't have
mean-
to know like all like he just needs to know like
He just needs to be willing to put the time in to study the other
Yeah,
teams.
exactly,
Is what I'm
exactly.
saying. Like he doesn't really have to be like an ex-pro or anything like that. I mean,
I agree.
He just
There's
has to
also
be a
no-
guy that's smart and can put in the time to study the other teams and streams and stuff like that.
There's also no
Somebody
money
like Mud Dog, dude.
a lot
I'll
more
get on.
to hire a coach.
Yeah, I'll get on and Eric will literally be like, yo, I look at this crazy thing I found. I'm like, he's like, yo, you can literally slide boost. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yo, look at this. Like, yo, what is that? Like that's the type of thing a coach should do. Like
Yeah.
play pubs and like, yo, whoa, why did my character just do that? Let me peep, like, let me try to figure out what this is. Like pretty much like investigate stuff.
Yep. But yeah, I
Like,
think
how long
this
stuns-
COD. I mean, I think having a coach would add like a little bit more to the dynamic of the teams. It would add more to content-wise as far as events and stuff like that go, interviews and analysis and stuff like that. You could refer to the coaches. I mean,
Yeah,
it would add so much more to content, just purely content for the COD scene. Because
Really
I
would.
mean, there's one thing that this scene lacks. It's like the variety of content, in my opinion. Like, there's not really much out there other than what the players are producing and stuff like that. There's no outside like companies or really like you have like your news companies like Deserto and ESN and stuff like that, but even those guys aren't really producing anything like new or creative like content wise.
Reporting.
Like it's basically just interviews and stuff like that what it's been for the past 5 years. Like I think actually bringing in coaches to where I mean they have inside looks in the teams and plus they have more time to do stuff like this, come on shows and talk about what's going on with their team. Stuff
Yeah.
like that, like they can do the PR stuff for their team more so because the players don't always have the time to do it with the playing and everything like that. So I mean, it's just that's my opinion though. I mean,
I agree with you. That'd be dope.
yeah, I don't know, just me being an ex-coach, I don't know. I loved coaching. It was fun as hell back in the day. So
I
Yeah.
think it'd be awesome.
Is like, who really knows if there's, really the only coach. I mean, it really was Matt, was Mr. X, and I mean, in Halo, the need for coaches calling out when power weapons are spawning, or and actually paying attention to spawning. Like everyone on the team is paying attention to that. I think it would be cool just to see a coach. If the ban protect phase and the specials draft actually meant something.
Yeah, you don't
other
even
than-
need a you don't even need a coach in game though. Like
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
if someone to sit there and like discuss strategy during the ban protect phase, during the specials draft, to actually build up a meta on how the game should be played, but we still don't have a rule set. And when people with gentlemen's agreements, it's hard to do that.
players agreements,
Gentlemen's agreements.
players agreements.
It's just funny. That like I said, this World League pretty much is any COD player's career this year. Like if you don't make this World League, what the fuck are you gonna do as a COD pro?
You still got
Yeah,
UMGs.
like, you're gonna do online
don't make
online
this
tourneys and
fun.
stream.
Huh?
If I don't make this league, I'm out of here. Yeah, I'm streaming late night wagers. Cool.
Yeah,
Streaming
like,
late night
yeah,
wagers.
that's what I'm saying. So like, it comes to a point where this thing is really fucking important. Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
trying to gas it up, but this qualifier is very important. And the fact that we don't have a fucking rule set, dude. Like,
But
this is why we're not taking serious.
Yeah, like whatever the issue with the Raw drama was, the point I was trying to make, like bring it all back together, was that who is making the rule set? Is it like Activision, but ESL are in charge of like helping invite the teams? Like there's no clarity on this World League.
There's just no player there's no player organizer communication that I know of. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know any players that are sitting here talking ESL or talking Activision. Like, there's no
I mean,
communication.
I
The
don't.
orgs, the orgs are.
I
though.
myself.
The orgs are.
yeah,
Are
the orgs communicate with them like a little bit. You know, Justin tells me some things about how the orgs are in calls with them and stuff like that. But like, our org owners aren't going to decide the rules of the game. Like, they can only relay the information from us.
Yeah.
I mean, they're seeing our tweets and
Costev making
stuff.
rules. Forget about it. No, I'm joking.
Right? You'd have fucking C4 combat knives 4v4. The troll. But
Yeah.
I
What were you
I
saying,
don't know.
Amos?
I said they're seeing the stuff on Twitter. Like they see the rules that we're trying to play. They saw how the event went in Totino's. Like they're gonna have something soon. I hope, but
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, they need to have something like tomorrow.
It's just weird. Like obviously, Call of Duty, like the only competition, like comparing Call of Duty to Halo right now, because obviously Halo 5 Guardians is doing pretty well. I mean, they're nearing $2 million for their World Championship prize pool through crowdfunding and rec packs, and they have. I think Nameless, you tweeted out there was a Halo trailer. During
Yeah,
Hunger
they
Games?
got yeah. Well, before the Hunger Games in the previews, there was a trailer for the Halo Championship.
Yeah.
Right. So like that's amazing exposure, but Halo itself still won't get as many views as something like Call of Duty, because Call of Duty is a bigger name
Halo
and
as
a
a
bigger
community
entertainment
is
franchise.
very
How do
is
you
a
know,
lot
man?
smaller
How
than
do you
Call
know
of Duty.
Halo won't get more views than Call of Duty?
Because
Did
I
you
go
go-
on
did you watch
Twitch. I
ACS
go on,
last year?
I go
You
on
watched
fucking
ACS last
Twitch.
year?
I went on Twitch 2 nights ago. Listen, so I went on Twitch 2 nights ago, and dude, I like to watch random Halo Pro streams. Like, I'm just like, when I'm fucking that bored, I'm like, I'm watching some Halo 2 streaming. Who's like on the top, bro. Halo on Twitch at like 3 a.m.
Bad.
Eastern had 560 viewers, bro. It was in the fourth row
I'm
of
taking
Twitch
it over.
games. Like, dead ass Halo as a community. I'm not talking about competitive. I feel like competitive is like one of the biggest communities they have left in
No,
Halo.
Halo tournaments will get a lot of views.
Yeah, I don't know about the viewership of Halo anymore. The fact that they have crowdfunding and shit's gonna add a whole new dynamic. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Like the Halo tournaments are gonna be sick, but just the viewership wise of Halo, I just don't know.
They might be
Yeah.
sick, but it's dependent on how long they can like last.
Just
They
yeah.
can sustain what they're doing, because I mean, if the first event is a bust, you can bet damn sure they ain't gonna be putting no ads in the front of Hunger Games next year or whatever
Like, you look
the
at the
next
Halo
big
tournament Hunger
blockbuster.
Games
Yeah,
movies,
that-
Jared.
that-
I
that's
know,
nothing
dude. I
anyway.
was just using that as a goddamn example, Max. Shut the hell
Bad
up.
example. Bad example.
Fuck you, dude. All right.
Yeah, it's just I don't
What's
know.
coming
like,
out next year? I don't know, but
Oh,
yeah.
Maze
wow.
Runner.
Is there a third installment to that?
Uh,
So
Yeah.
there's not going to be no Halo commercial at the beginning at the intro credits for fucking Maze Runner next year, Max.
Maze
Yo, I
Runner.
gotta head out. I'm about to go play a tournament.
All right, man. Hey, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by,
Sorry to
man.
cut it short. Yeah, take it easy, guys. Hit me up
See ya,
whenever.
man.
But yeah, I don't know. Halo's viewership, like, as like a generalization, I'm talking about how many people actually sit there and play Halo. It's nowhere near as high as Call of Duty.
Yeah, nowhere.
No, I
Like-
mean you don't expect it to be, especially where it's been the past couple of years. But the fact that Bungie, or not Bungie, 343 is actually willing to put up the cash and effort to do this type of stuff, I don't know, man. Like,
I mean, you also got to wonder if like what the correlation was with losing Call of Duty to Sony and PlayStation, because Xbox, like the Call of Duty Championship was presented by Xbox, the Halo World Championship is presented by Xbox, so like they kind of went all in on Halo esports after losing Call of Duty, because Halo is the biggest first party title in like Xbox history. So like MCC had a botched launch. It was probably the worst launch of
that was
video
horrific.
game history.
That made me
but-
cry, actually. I was so
Oh, it was
happy
awful.
for that, dude. And I was like, dude, I can't even get on and play with my friends. What the fuck is this shit?
You think the
Yeah.
org's thinking, if it happens, do you think it's gonna wait until all the teams are qualified for the league, or do you think it's just not gonna happen? Like when it comes to the CLGs and the Cloud9s, if they want COD teams. Like I feel like they're waiting. I feel like if any of them want a COD team, they're gonna wait until because I think players qualify for the league, like not teams. Like it's not considered like if we qualify, like Sharp, me, Theory, and Goon qualify. I don't think Team Caliber qualifies.
Really?
Like I'm pretty
Just the
that like
players
that's how they're.
qualify?
I'm pretty sure because they invited us as players. They didn't invite us as teams. We had to fill out a whole thing about what team we're playing on and stuff. Like I don't even know who has the possession of the league spots.
Well, yeah,
But that's a
technically-
whole new fucking show because there's gonna be some
Yeah,
grime
it
going
is.
on
Dude,
after.
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm writing down the script for that show right now. Actually, we're
They're-
gonna get that
like
shit going.
player wise, organization wise, the grime is about to be
yeah,
done.
if
People
because
qualify.
if players own the spot to the league, dude, that's gonna create so many issues. Because
That's-
I don't know how that
there's
should be.
no way that would work because 4 individual players owning a spot in the league, like I just foresee a bunch of shit going down.
That's not how. it
Maybe
should
they
happen at
give
all.
it.
Players
Maybe
should
they
not
give
own
it to
the
the
spot.
captain. I have no idea how.
Because
like, they
no,
plan
well,
on
I
doing
mean,
it, so-
because if that happens, then if you know an org like CLG or something like that decides to come in, then it's gonna be easy as fuck for them to grab.
That's why you're seeing all these organizations right now are trying to contract and start paying their players. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of these top orgs are pretty afraid of some of these
Yeah.
other orgs.
Well,
that are
yeah,
actually-
because they know they're
they can't.
fucking.
They can't compete. They
no,
can't compete.
they
with them.
they know they're screwing most of the players off in Call of Duty right now. So when these orgs come in that actually offers something like worthwhile, and they're like, "Oh shit, this is how the other side lives." Yeah, peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like I
yeah,
said, that's a
I
story
don't
for
know,
a
man.
whole
I won't
segment when it
see, but then like playing devil's advocate, if players do get the spot, then it could attract those orgs, which would grow the scene to get rid of some of these orgs that are kind of running their businesses.
I think
into
that's
the
what I
ground.
think that's what they're trying
And
to do.
honestly, I see. I'm on both sides of the fence here. I don't know, man. I think
Man,
we'll see.
Is
But
that-
that's interesting. I mean, I wanna touch up with you after a week or so and see what if the players actually do hold the spots. Because if they do, ooh man,
Insane.
I'm about to go get me a business loan, and I'm gonna start my own org.
are you?
Yeah, because I know I could run one properly. So we're about to it's about to be Team TWR up in this bitch.
It's just like we said, like the lack of structure and things still needs to come from Activision and ESL. Like there's no fine print of anything yet. Like don't get me wrong, no
Right.
teams have qualified, the tournament hasn't happened yet. But like, all right, what if a fucking team qualifies and they drop 2 players? Like that's fucking grimy. Like that shouldn't happen. That player earned a spot on the fucking league.
Well,
True.
no. I mean, here's the counter argument to that though. If you are contracted by the organization to play at this tournament, and that's what you're contracted to do, like not what you're going to do after the tournament. If you're contracted up through the tournament, you qualify. It's the org's right whether or not they want to sign you or drop you. But I mean, that just goes with player protection and not being.
Oh yeah, but like any top 6 organization, like I'll tell you right now, like we have contracts. Like we're signed, we're under contract for a year.
Right,
Like,
yes,
we're-
yes,
like,
yes,
we
yes.
have.
But,
I don't
like,
know what kind of players are signing contracts for tournaments, but they need to not
No,
sign
but
those contracts if they are.
There was something just happened in League of Legends like that where a team sold their spot and then players were kicked off because they were only contracted through the LCS qualifying tournament, the Challenger Series tournament.
Yeah, no, see
But,
that
like,
makes sense. Like
Right. You have TK, Optic Phase,
denial.
Denial, Complexity, Elevate, Envy.
Yeah.
Rise. Like you have like the big Call of Duty organizations. Not like I guess Complexity coming back in, like Luminosity, whatever, but like the smaller
LG.
ones that qualify.
Yeah.
Right. The small ones that maybe qualify through like who come out of nowhere, like Kinetic Empire. Not saying anything about Kinetic Empire, just an example, or Kinetic or ISO.
Or Dream
And,
Team,
like,
or
if
who
someone-
is-
if-
who the hell's Apotheon? Apotheon?
Pathian? I don't even
That's
know.
Fizz's team. That's Fizz's
Yeah, I
team.
know whose team it is. I'm just saying, who the hell are they?
I
I
have
don't
no
know.
idea.
But like if they qualify and TSM wearing the sweater right now, they come up and Reggie just comes up with $20,000. He's like, hey, we want your spot. Well, you bet your ass they're going to take that $20,000 and run. We saw that last year with season 2.
No,
Aware
dude,
sold
they
their spot
would
to
no,
TCM.
they would be stupid to do that for only 20
Oh,
grand
Justin
now,
even
dude.
told-
Oh, it was
Justin-
a number.
Yeah, no,
Oh, it
Justin
was a
did.
number. No, that you need to throw a higher number out then next time.
I mean,
Oh,
because
okay.
they sell that
Okay,
spot
so-
for-
Games.
He's a realist, and he's like, if someone offered me enough money for you guys, I'd
Please.
be like, I'd happily take it. And he's like, I'd give you even a portion of it because you guys are the homies. Because like we have a close relationship with our owner, so it's like, yeah, if someone walks up after we qualify and says, yo, here's $1 million or here's $500,000-$600,000 for a league spot, like you'd be fucking stupid not to take it almost.
Mm,
No,
I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I don't know. I guess I mean in the next we'll know what happens here in the next week or so when they finally decide to release the map and rule set. Since the event is in less than 2 weeks, or isn't exactly 2 weeks, isn't it? I know it's like December. What is it?
Fourth. I
December
don't
4th.
know if I'm
Yeah.
even allowed to say it. I guess I'm not. I could say it.
Nah,
We fly out on December 2nd. I don't know why.
Well, yeah, it's
They
December.
haven't told
Yeah.
us.
I mean, it's already been announced that the events run December 2nd, 3rd, 4th, like in that time frame, and
No,
that.
it's the 4th through 6th.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, then
so I don't know why
that's
I'm
when
flying
people
to
are
stop that
leaving.
early.
Yeah. Probably just content
Well,
stuff and everything like that. But I'd
you
imagine.
practice.
Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's when they'll give you the rule set. So they give you 3 days in the studio to grind out, to practice for the tournament. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm hoping more news gets out. I would like to find out who is actually making these decisions and how we can somehow talk to this person. Like, not me per se, but the players from your guys' standpoint. Like, what can we do in the future to, like, help bridge the gap? Like, I've been asking this question, like, well before I, like, walked out of esports. Now that I'm coming back. Like, even back in Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, I was saying the same shit. But I feel like a broken record sometimes on this show, unfortunately. But
nah.
Structure.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen though, because I mean, with Activision investing the money and time they are so far into this World League, well, I guess money, not so much time. I haven't seen what time they've invested into it yet. Barely none, it seems like.
No, but yeah, who knows?
But yeah, but at least the money's there. But you know, you can't just invest money to make something successful. You got to invest the time too. So
Sure
we'll
you can.
see.
Sure you can.
No, you can't.
Give me a lot of money, I'll invest in something. Make
It's
it
just a little
successful.
thing. Like they're gonna give us a world league. They're gonna grow COD Esports. Give me a rule set. Be
Yep.
prepared. Be prepared to do what you want to do. And if you're not prepared, let us help you. Let
Exactly.
the COD community
Well,
is actually
yeah.
structured enough as players to come to an agreement to a rule
Yeah.
set. We can
You
help.
think so?
Yeah, trust me.
I don't know. I just think over time, like just the kind of impression our community gives like to the public, it's kind of standoffish, so that's something we have to get away from as well. But that's my own personal opinion.
I
But
think
yeah,
since organizations and players were organized enough to do some things and make some decisions ourselves and help them.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm excited for this year myself. I mean, I love playing the game. I actually enjoyed watching it last weekend during the Totino's Invitational. I actually watched the whole thing.
Watch
That's
us when we played Rise in that hard point, 250 to 249.
Yeah, dude, that was nuts. I was actually like, that was the most excited like COD match I've watched in probably 3 years. That
It
was
was
great.
awesome.
Why? It's a gentleman's agreement.
Players agreements.
Yeah, it was one of the
That
reasons why that event ran smoothly. It was fun.
yeah, but no, that event was it was good to watch. There's some, I have some personal opinions on how it could have been, better engaging for the audience, but I'll always have those opinions.
Yes, you will.
Yes, I will, because I always have good ideas for producers to put into their events. But
This is true.
but yeah, overall it was great. It was great entertainment game wise. Intermission wise, it's another thing entirely. That's not up to you guys. But game wise, it was entertaining.
Yeah, no, the game's fun.
So
The
the
game's
games the
consistent.
games were good. If I enjoy grinding a COD, then I will be here for the entirety of the game.
If Sharp enjoys COD, you know it's a good game
Right?
because he's hated COD in the past 3 years.
So have I.
So he
So
like,
old
Sharp is pulling 12-hour 20. Sharp has pulled a
Sharp and
24-hour
I
stream.
Sharp and I are old COD 4 boys, okay?
Yeah.
We miss them days, all right?
Yeah, so, when Brandon got on for the first time in 2 years and said, "Yo, guys, I love this game," I
Right?
just had the biggest cheese on my face. I was
Yeah,
like,
right?
"It's gonna be a good year."
Yeah, Sharp. I mean, if Sharp actually, likes the game, he'll be a beast.
He's a beast at it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Sharp. Oh man, dude, I just remember Sharp in COD 4. You did not want to play against him.
he was a fucking beast at the Invitational.
But yeah, I mean, this year's looking up from every standpoint except from the rule set and what the hell's going on with the league. But everything else is looking good so far. So we'll see where it goes. I've reached everything I wanted to talk about, Max. Unless you got something else you want to talk about before we can get Nesla out of here, so we can get back to streaming.
What are you gonna stream, bud? The PSN servers are down.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they
Oh,
just shut down. I was
Lizard
pubbing while I
Squad.
was talking to you guys.
Oh.
Lizard Squad, dude. Nope. I think that pretty much wraps up tonight's show.
All right. Well,
Go
Nesla,
watch
you got
Undertaker.
anything else you want to mention before we wrap this up?
We talked about the rules. Talked about the Totino's event. Just hashtag TK all day. That's pretty much it.
All right. Well, I just want to thank you for stopping by again, man. I always love having you on the show.
Yep.
But guys, that's gonna do it for tonight's show. I do want to run something by you guys before you bail out of the chat here. I am gonna start doing stuff. We have enough viewers in here to where I can actually make the announcement to enough people. But I'm gonna start bringing in viewers from the chat at the end of the show. So like now, when we end the discussion with the player or guest or anything like that I have on the show, at the end after that, I'm going to be sending invites out to Discord app. I have a server on there, and all you'll have to do is click on the app. So I'm gonna send it out in the chat. Anybody who wants to join into the server, you can. So I'll be pulling 3 in at a time, and I will be discussing with you and Max and I will be discussing with you what we talked about throughout the show. So if you guys have any opinions on, like tonight, if you had any opinions on like the Totino's Invitational last weekend, any opinions on what the map should be, the rules should be, what you thought about what the players were saying as well. Any opinions like that, I am going to bring you in and we're going to discuss them with you because I want to get the chat more engaged in the show as well. So I'm going to start doing that next weekend. So if you think that's something you'd be interested in, be sure to stop by next Sunday at the same time, 8 Central, 9 Eastern, and I'll get you into the chat at the end of the show. And if the players and stuff are willing to stick around too, you could potentially talk with one of the pro players or one of the team managers or any of the various guests I happen to have on each weekend. So I'm just trying to get the viewers more engaged with